All right, here we go. So my ministry is the ministry of love and respect. And I choose to believe that love actually has the ability, the alchemy to transform violence. The challenge, though, is we actually have to believe in love. Because if we don't believe in it, it makes it very difficult for it to do what it's actually capable of doing. Next slide, Jonathan. Click it again because I think it's the salamander. Oh, no, it's not. Never mind. So I invited everybody to bring a seed. I hope you brought your seed. And the seed that I tend to work with this is a rain tree seed. And I love seeds. And so click it, John. Oh, I'm going to go like this. And that's how you'll know when to click. So I'm going to invite you to please put in the chat the name of your seed. If you would please put that in the chat. It could be a watermelon seed. It can be a whatever. Please indulge me and place the name of your seed in the chat. Wonderful. And while you're doing that, if you would be so kind to actually show us your seed, like, can you put it up can you put it up so we can see what you have? What did you bring? Yeah, little tiny ones. They're just so little, teeny weenier little ones. Yes. Isn't that amazing? Okay, Jonathan. So one of the reasons why I love this particular seed is because it's amazingly protected. It has this pod that surrounds it and holds it. And if you look at it, the pod actually looks like a heart. Okay. And then inside of the pod, inside of the heart of this covering, are usually about 6 to 9 seeds. So they come in community. They show up as community. Jonathan. They are amazing and beautiful and stunning. So a part of the ministry that I represent is that we too started off as seeds. We were even smaller than this seed. And we too rooted inside of this rich soil, and then we sprouted. We came up and out. Jonathan? This little itsy bitsy teeny weeny seed and all of the invisible systems that exist within it eventually grows up to be this tree. It doesn't have a PhD, it doesn't have a doctorate, it doesn't have a Keo account, it doesn't have any of those things, and yet imprinted inside of it, it has the ability to become. It's innate, it's inside. Jonathan? Click it again. We already did this part. So this passage in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 11:5, what I'm introducing you to are some of the passages, again, in the Bible that also guide and direct me in my ministry. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones grow in the womb of her that is with child. We don't know how that happens. Even though we're studying it, we really don't know. Jonathan? We have no idea. It's not an intellectual process. Thank God, or none of us would be here if it was up to our intellect to get us here. Jonathan. And yet, even so, thou knowest not the works of God who make all things. Jonathan? My ministry brings me internal. My ministry brings me into the invisible realms. It's the invisible that I'm intrigued with. It's the invisible that moves me forward and allows me to be enamored with that which the invisible creates. In Psalms 139, we are invited to see how amazing we are. Actually, would somebody else like to read this?
You have searched me, Lord, and know me.
You have searched me. This is a picture of your autobiography. This is a part of your creation story that has gotten lost along the way, suppressed, misplaced, and I'm committed to bringing light to it. This is a picture of you before you were conceived. This is the other picture of you. What's amazing here is where my ministry has brought me is that you have essence within the egg and essence within the seed of your father, essence in two separate bodies, and yet essence to essence, they learn and figure out how to work together. They work together. Jonathan? Could somebody read this one?
You know me when I sit and when I rise. You receive my thoughts from afar.
There is a belief that just as our hearts have the capacity to communicate with each other by frequencies and vibrations, so too do our brains. We communicate whether we speak or not, just like the cell inside of the seed has the ability to communicate with each other. And in the process of communicating without words, there are no words, but they communicate and they're capable of building amazing infrastructures. Continue reading. Oh, we missed one. That's okay, Jonathan. It's okay. It's just saying how wonderful you are. Do the next one. Who will read this one?
As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
I think you went backwards, Jonathan. I think you're going to have to go forward. It's okay. Evidently, Spirit wanted us to see this one again.
Even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Keep clicking.
Psalms 1.
Hold on. Hey, Kina. Good to see you, sweetheart.
Hi.
Wonderful to see you, Kina.
Thank you. Nice to see everybody. Hi, everybody. When you know.
Okay, yes. Kina, would you read this, please?
Okay. You know when I sit and when I rise, you receive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways.
Thank you, Kina. Jonathan? Who would like to read this one?
I will. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely.
Jonathan? Keep reading, Ellen, please.
Even before we have a tongue,
Jonathan.
God provides.
Ellen.
Even before we know how to speak,
God provides.
God provides.
For it is God who created us. It is God who called us into existence. Even when we didn't know we needed a heart, God gave us one. Even when we didn't even know we needed kidneys and lungs and spleens and nervous systems. It was all given to us. We didn't even know we needed those things. And it was just given. Jonathan? Who would like to read next?
You, you hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me.
Reba, would you read this too, please?
Such knowledge is too wonderful for me.
All of this has been given to us. What an amazing gift. It has all been given. It was given to us. Jonathan? Reba, would you continue reading?
Too lofty for me to attain.
Who wants to read this page through?
Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heavens, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, you are there.
No matter where we go, my experience has been, no matter where I go, it doesn't matter where I am. I could be at the grocery store. I could be in the bathroom. I can be driving my car. No matter where I go, God is there. Who would like to read this page?
If I rise on the wings of the dawn, if I settle on the far side of the sea, even there, your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast.
Who would like to read this page?
I will. If I say, surely the dark will hide me, and the light become night around me.
So this guy, I don't know if you remember this guy, but this is the guy who went up like a whole bunch of into a rocket ship and jumped to the earth. He literally jumped and he actually survived it. I choose to believe God was there. Stephanie?
Even the darkness will not be dark to you. The night will shine like the day, for darkness is as light to you.
Who will read the next page?
I will. For you created my inmost being.
Becky?
You knit me together in my mother's womb.
What's amazing to me about this picture is we're so used to seeing violence, people being shot in the movies. We're used to seeing buildings blow up and cars go fast. We are familiar with those images. But I would imagine that as you're looking at this, you probably don't even know what this is. And I'm saddened by that, because this is actually a picture. This is a real true picture of a baby still in the amniotic sac through cesarean delivery. The sac has not been broken yet. These images we are not familiar with, but all of the violence we know so well. But this one, very little. This is a gift. It is a blessing. It is not a curse. It is not a burden. It is a blessing wrapped up in it's delicious, wonderful. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Who would like to read this page?
I
I
will.
pray. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well.
Barb Smith, would you please read this?
Okay. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth.
We were not hidden. For the elements, the invisible realms, the invisible, the invisible was busy at work creating the visible. Not hidden. Jonathan? Who would like to read this page?
Steve.
Your eyes saw my unformed body.
DNA, molecules, electrons, protons, neutrons, photons, quarks, and strings, all busy, all committed to getting us here in a sacred order, a sacred order. Arthur, would you continue reading?
All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be.
Written. I choose to believe our DNA is actually love letters. The DNA are love letters from the universe. And we are the ones who are hopefully figuring out how to read the book. What is that? Oh. You see the whales and the snails and the puppy dog tails, the seas and the bees, and even the trees. Including the air that is so desperately needed. How precious to me are your thoughts, O God. How vast is the sum of them. These are all the ways I choose to believe in the ministry in which I carry. This is how God loves us. These are all the multitudinal ways that God sings songs of praise and love to us. This is God loving us. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, so I want you to hear this. This is true for me. When I awake, I am still with you. When I awake, I am still with you. Let me introduce you to my grandbaby. That last picture that just came up is my grandbaby, and her name is Baby Willow. And what I'm aware of is when she wakes up, she's still with God. All of our children actually come in with this information. All of us originally came in with all of this information, and it's educated out of us. We come in with it, and it's educated out of us. I invite you to pause and think on some of these images and pictures you've seen. I invite you to reflect how much God loves us, but both internally and externally. How much God loves us both internally and externally. All right, let's go, Jonathan. So here we are. You got to see the ministry that I'm working with, the inseparable oneness. Thank you, Rita, for giving me that language, because I did not have the language. I had the body sense. I knew what it was as experience, but I didn't know the language. And Rita Varley gave me those words. So thank you, Rita. We got to see the salamander, how it starts off as a single cell. Just like us, we started off as a single cell egg and a single cell sperm. And those single cells have essence. And that essence comes together and they commingle and they dance and they work together. And they don't care about color, and they don't care about nations, and they don't care about borders, and they don't care about money. They don't care about any of that stuff. What they care about is doing God's will. And that's all they care about. This is a call for healing. My ancestors call out, and I am blessed that I have the capacity to actually hear the voices, the frequencies, and the vibrations of my ancestors. My ancestors call out. They hold me accountable. They tell me that I must stand no matter who pushes against me. Racism, classism, sexism, it doesn't matter, because all of it is created in distortion. It's not right, wrong, good, or bad. It's distortion. It distorts love. It distorts it. And only we can allow that to happen. And so my ancestors call and they hold me accountable and they say, you got work to do because we ain't done yet. And I am faithful to the best of my ability. For real or imagine, whether it's in my imagination or whether it's real, I remember. I have not forgotten. I have not allowed the distortions to take over my psyche, my brain. I have not forgotten, because it's not worth forgetting. It's not worth it. The cost is too high. And so I remember my ancient past. And I'm invited to actually play This is an opportunity to return to our birthright for play and pleasure and joy and celebration and cooperation. We are called to do better because we can. And so we will. I'm not sure when, but we will. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part to the best of my ability, and I am fully aware that those who I play with are also doing their part. I am grateful to have many playmates. Again, this is our autobiography. How can you not trust this process? You were an egg. How do you not trust that? Our planet is populated with expressions of God. They are not people. We are not people. I'm not a people. I'm an expression of life. I'm an expression of God, and so are you, based on my limited understanding. We are spirits attempting to do life's joy. I'm going to call it joy for now. And we can get better at joy. We really suck at joy. Next. So we were sperm, we were egg, and we knew how to communicate. We knew how to share resources. We knew how to give and give and receive in such a way that life was made possible. We have a lot of people here. That's what you call us. But my belief is we are so much more than people. We are so much more. Molecules, frequencies, vibrations, DNA, chemistry, artists, dreamers, carpenters, politicians, lawyers. All of us have an opportunity to truly be expressions of love, no matter what we're doing. Let love out. Only because it's what we were created out of. In order to get this to move and grow, you have to have the frequencies and vibrations of love, for only love can create life. And the fear of love destroys it. The children are worthy of us figuring this out. I'm going to say that again. The children are worthy of us figuring this out. The children are worthy. We've already done the impossible. We were sperm and egg. We have already done the impossible. We already did the impossible. Everything else can be a piece of cake. If we figure out how to work together. That's what my ministry is about. My ministry is about the inseparable oneness, because my concern is the price we pay for harming and wounding each other, the actual price we pay for harming the whales and harming the snails and harming the puppy dog tails, the price we pay for harming our seas and our trees and our bees, the price we pay for harming our air, the price we pay is the relationship that could actually be happening between you and me. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. This is a call to life. It is an invitation that we figure out how to love each other. We have chosen destruction It's a choice. That's a choice. The price we pay for harming and wounding our seas, our turtles, our trees, is our own integrity. It's our integrity that's at stake. It's our integrity. It's your integrity. If at any point in time we made a decision to destroy anything in this cycle, it wouldn't get to become whole. How do we misplace that? If you destroy anything in the cycle, it doesn't get to become whole. For God is a God of order. Inseparable. This is attention to inseparable oneness. Who would like to read this page?
I shall. For I was hungry, and you gave me nothing to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me nothing to drink. I was a stranger, and you did not invite me in. I needed clothes, and you did not clothe me. I was sick and in prison, and you did not look after me. They also will answer, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or needing clothes, or sick, or in prison, and did not help you? He will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did not do for one of the least of these, you did not do for me.
Thank you, Steve. Who would like to read this page?
For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me.
This is the ministry of love and respect, a ministry of deepening our understanding and our experiences of alternatives to violence by exploring the transformative power of love. This planet is extremely generous. This is a generous planet. This is a giving planet. The moon is barren. Almost all other planets are barren. Awaken. This is a generous planet. Lord, when did you see me hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing others to clothe you? When did we see you sick and in prison and go visit you? And the Lord will reply, truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers or sisters of mine, you have done unto me. We feed each other. We give each other clean water. We welcome the stranger. And eventually, hopefully, we will transform our prisons. You see, because we can. And to believe that we can't is a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. If a single cell can become a salamander, and if two separate cells, a sperm and an egg, can become a complex human, trust me, please, we can transform these systems. We created them. Who would like to read this one?
I'll read it. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations.
And I believe that is true of so many of us, and we have lost our voices. So many of us have come to be prophetic, and we have been distracted. This is a picture of what you looked like when you were coming out of the womb of your mother. We were prepared. We were designed to come and make a difference. All of us, not some of us. Jesus answered unto them and said to them, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he can't even enter the kingdom of the heavens. It's an invitation, not a demand. It can't be a demand. It's an invitation to allow yourself to regress, to go back, to go backwards and remember where you came from. Go visit the invisible. Go visit the invisible. And remember what was placed on our hearts and our souls, what was written in our DNA that had us so committed to coming and working together. For blessed are the pure of heart, for they shall actually see God. I didn't write that. One of your teachers wrote it. You see, we come as gift. We come as blessing. We come wrapped. We come as a blessing. We do not come as sinners. We come as a blessing, that we may bless each other and not curse each other. Meeting for worship, waiting worship with attention to inseparable oneness. Thank you for walking with me, family. Jonathan, you can let go of the slides now, please. Wow, that was right at 2 o'clock. All right, here we go. Now that's what I'm talking about.
Here we are together.
Chaos and all. We did that even with chaos. Wait, I'm sorry. So thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Dee. Who's my team here? Jonathan, Dee. Thank you, Pamela. I think, oh, thank you, David. Okay, these were the team members who helped me bring this forward. And thank you, family, for showing up. Thank you for being a part of my prayer. And thank you for responding to my prayer. Pamela, you want to lead us now?
Yes. So now